Barbie or be in the movie in any capacity. I'm happy just to produce. And she was like, no, I really want to write this for you. And she wrote me an amazing part, so I'm very...
Let's dive into the whirlwind of drama surrounding Blake Lively, a name that's been lighting up headlines lately, and not always for the best reasons. You might have caught wind of her recent legal tangle with Justin Baldoni over It Ends with Us. But what if I told you this isn't her first rodeo when it comes to on-set friction? Whispers from Hollywood suggest that her behavior on the set of Barbie left Margot Robbie less than thrilled, painting a picture of a star who's got a knack for stirring the pot wherever she goes. Buckle up because we're about to unpack the messy details of what reportedly went down behind the scenes of Barbie, a film that was supposed to be all about girl power and teamwork, but somehow turned into a battleground for egos. Picture this. Casting for Barbie is in full swing, and Blake Lively's name pops up fast. It's not hard to see why she'd be in the running. She's got that golden blonde vibe, a classic Barbie look that could slide right into Greta Gerwig's pastel-drenched, feminist-flavored vision. Plus, she's got a built-in nostalgia factor. From her Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants days with America Ferrera, who also snagged a role in Barbie. On paper, it's a slam dunk. Blake could bring some of that early 2000s girl power magic to the table. But here's where things start to unravel. According to insiders, Blake didn't just want to be a Barbie. She wanted to be the Barbie. While the rest of the cast, Margot Robbie, Issa Rae, Dua Lipa, Hari Nef, was all in for a vibe where everyone got their moment to shine, Blake had her sights set on something bigger. Word is, she wasn't content with the ensemble approach. She allegedly pushed for more screen time, demanded script tweaks to beef up her character, and even angled for creative control. This wasn't some small-time gig where she could call the shots. It was Barbie, a massive project with a clear vision, and Blake's alleged power plays didn't sit well. Sound familiar? It should. This echoes the same complaints that bubbled up from the It Ends With Us set, where castmates and crew griped about her being tough to work with. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Back to Barbie, Margot Robbie wasn't just the star of this billion-dollar blockbuster. She was also a producer through her company, Lucky Chap Entertainment. She had real skin in the game, and she wasn't about to let anyone derail the train. Margot's the type who'll audition for a role in her own movie just to prove she's the right fit. Humility in spades. So when Blake started throwing her weight around, Margot wasn't having it. Not on my set, she reportedly thought, drawing a line in the sand. And here's the kicker. Margot and director Greta Gerwig held firm. They didn't bend to Blake's demands, and that's when things got ugly. Sources say Blake's demeanor shifted once she realized she wasn't getting her way. The rosy, collaborative spirit of Barbie, the whole femininity and teamwork thing, started to crack. What's wild is how quietly it all went down. Usually, when a big name drops out of a high-profile project, the rumor mill churns out leaks and shady quips in interviews. But Margot? She handled it like a pro. No public blowout, no messy headlines, just a smooth exit for Blake that barely made a ripple. And when you look at Barbie's haul, $1 billion at the box office, glowing reviews, and a cultural moment that's still reverberating, it's clear Margot's instincts were spot on. Nobody left that movie thinking, man, this needed more Blake Lively. Contrast that with Blake's own words about her approach to acting. She said she admires filmmakers who get their hands dirty, writing, creating, shaping the story. Half the actors I respect most were people who had to get in there and control the environment, she's noted, explaining how she's leaned into that mindset. It worked for her on some projects. She's proud of the results, but it's also a clue to her MO. She doesn't just want to play the part, she wants to run the show. And when she can't, cue the drama. Now, let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't an isolated incident. Take It Ends With Us, where Blake's clash with Justin Baldoni spiraled into a lawsuit. She accused him of harassment after, you guessed it, she didn't get her way. The parallels are uncanny. Same demands for control, same fallout when she's denied. But Barbie adds another layer because it ties in Margot Robbie, a powerhouse who wasn't about to let Blake steamroll her vision. And then there's the Ryan Gosling angle, which takes this story to a whole new level of juicy. Margot went all out to snag Ryan Gosling for Barbie. She bribed him with daily gifts, puka shell necklaces, horse-themed lunchboxes, you name it, because she knew his Ken would elevate the film. And he did, delivering a performance that had everyone buzzing. Margot gushed about how Ryan's energy lifted the whole project, and their on-screen chemistry was electric. But here's where it gets spicy. Blake and Ryan Gosling have history. Back in the 2010s, they were spotted together, sparking rumors of a fling. It fizzled fast. She bounced to Leonardo DiCaprio, then settled with Ryan Reynolds. But that brief connection adds a twist. Imagine Blake watching Margot shower Ryan G with praise and presents, all while she couldn't even get a text back from him years ago. If she'd stayed on Barbie and pulled her usual stunt, say tossing out harassment claims when things didn't go her way, it could have been the ultimate revenge, tanking Margot's film and stirring up trouble. Speaking of patterns, let's pivot to another co-star clash, Anna Kendrick. The two teamed up for A Simple Favor, a slick thriller that should have been a dream duo. Blake as the glamorous, enigmatic Emily, Anna as the quirky, relatable Stephanie. On screen, it worked. Off screen, not so much. Promo for the film was a vibe check, and they flunked it. In their Wired autocomplete interview, the tension was palpable. Anna carried the energy while Blake seemed checked out. Same deal with their MTV sit-down. No warm fuzzies, just stiff, business-like exchanges. Fans noticed Blake skipping Anna in her Instagram post too, despite sharing behind-the-scenes snaps from the movie. And get this, they've joked about muting or blocking each other online. Cute on the surface, maybe, but it tracks with the chill between them. Fast forward to 2022, and A Simple Favor 2 gets the green light. Fans were stunned to see both Blake and Anna back, given their obvious frostiness. Turns out it wasn't a choice. Contracts locked them in. Word is they negotiated separate dressing rooms and minimal joint promo to keep the peace. Imagine disliking your co-star so much you'd rather rewrite the rulebook than fake a smile. It's giving pattern of behavior vibes, and it's not just Anna. Margot, Justin Baldoni, and now Anna Kendrick, all heavy hitters who've reportedly butted heads with Blake. Even Candace Owens, who usually sticks to political hot takes, couldn't resist weighing in. She called out Blake and Ryan Reynolds for hiring ex-CIA types to spin their PR, suggesting Blake's drama has reached next-level status. When someone like Candace pivots from world affairs to your Hollywood mess, you've officially made waves, and not the good kind. One rocky co-star relationship? Fine. 2? 3? That's when folks start pointing at the common thread. And right now, all arrows lead to Blake. So what's the deal? Is Blake Lively just cursed with bad luck, landing on sets with clashing personalities? Or is she the spark lighting these fires? Her own words hint at a need for control. She thrives when she's steering the ship, not just rowing it. On Barbie, she couldn't call the shots, and Margot shut it down. On It Ends With Us, she tried to flex and wound up in court. With Anna, the sisterhood fizzled fast. And that Ryan Gosling subplot, it's the cherry on top suggesting personal grudges might fuel her professional moves. The evidence, or at least the tea, piles up. Blake's got a rep for wiping her Instagram clean when she's ready to shift gears, like when she ditched Gossip Girl for films or pivoted post-Leo to Ryan Reynolds. She's savvy with the media, knows how to nudge a narrative. If she'd stayed on Barbie and felt sidelined, who's to say she wouldn't have spun a story to flip the script? It's speculation, sure, but it fits the blueprint. Here's the bottom line. Barbie was a triumph of collaboration. Margot, Greta, and the cast pulled off a cultural juggernaut without Blake's spotlight moment. It Ends With Us turned into a legal quagmire. A Simple Favor left a trail of awkward silences. At some point, you've got to ask, is it everyone else? Or is it her? The jury's still out, but the chatter's loud. What do you think? Bad luck or bad vibes? Drop your take, because this Hollywood saga's far from over.